The most heavily anticipated college basketball game in this state's history. And it'll be Auburn, the visiting team, wearing white today.
All right, Alabama's big guys playing right in the center of the lane.
Playing off Chris Moore. He's getting the start on the wing. Miles Kelly knocks it down, and he can certainly do that. Alabama likes to play at as fast a pace as any team in the country, but it is Auburn off to a great start as Janai Broome knocks down a three.
Daring Broome to shoot, and he's going to take you up on that.
Broome maybe still not quite back to 100% physically after the ankle injury, but still putting up big numbers since he has returned. Sears in the corner. The three is short.
Nate Oates talked to his team about that. Florida got way down against Auburn, down 10 early, wound up winning the game going away. You just have to keep playing.
What a rebound by Dylan Cardwell. Broome will try another one, and it is 9-0 for the Tigers.
Sometimes their matchups aren't exactly right, and Denver Jones trying to block out Grant Nelson. That's advantage Nelson.
Nelson 3 years with North Dakota State.
11 rebounds and really attacked the paint with force.
Broome getting into the paint. And the soft touch for him. He's got 8 already.
Shot, that's a tough two. Got to give him credit.
Sears with a burst of speed, and he draws a foul. Got a chance for 3.
His last two, he's off to a great start in this one. His last two, even though he's averaging just under 18 a game, he's 14 of 35 from the field.
Chaney Johnson hits the 3.
And that's why he's in the game. Point line, Chaney Johnson will.
Diabate, full head of steam. The follow by Nelson, but wave it off. Basket interference is the call.
And that one they can look at.
Yeah, his team works harder than Johnson does. Youngblood, got to respect his three-point shooting ability. He'll drive it on Baker Mazzara and finish it. And Alabama starting to find its way at the offensive end.
Well, that's what Alabama wants to continue to do, is punch.
Mark Sears 1 for 5 in the early going of this one. Drives on Baker Mazzara, draws the foul, and it goes.
Tell me that doesn't look like Jalen Brunson. Of Chad Baker Mazzara just gets his shoulders past him, draws that contact, and gets.
And it will be Sears at the line for the tie, trying to complete the three-point play. Mark Sears averaging almost 18 points per game. Averaged better than 21 a season ago when he was a second-team All-American.
That stretch.
And Nate Oates will tell you, too much dribbling in traffic. Nice play, but no finish.
Basket interference.
Yep.
He touched it while he was grabbing the rim. That is difficult action to screen for Chad Baker Mazzara.
In the backcourt along with Holloway. Diabate left alone.
A beautiful keeper by.
Boy, this Alabama team has so many offensive weapons, and you could say the same for Auburn. Big shot there for Chad Baker Mazzara. Baker Mazzara short on the 3, but fouled on the play by Aiden Holloway, and it will be 3 free throws.
The shooter a chance to land.
So Baker Mazzara, again, who's been playing banged up the last 2 or 3 games. Second game in a row, he's coming off the bench. Many times this week, you know, how cool is it that this game, and he means this in a very respectful way. He goes, this game's in Alabama. Both of these coaches have taken a tremendous amount of pride, Jay, in the way that their programs are performing and the way it's elevated the fandom for basketball across the entire state.
Football.
And with all the great things in the Iron Bowl on the football side, the rivalry there, they've never had a 1 versus 2. They got one here in the basketball. Nice shot clock running down. Stevenson. And the rebound to Baker Mazzara.
Excellent defensive possession for Auburn. They kept Alabama out of the paint. Good pass.
Very pretty two-man game between Baker Mazzara and
this game since he's been in off the bench.
And now he stays in front of Sears on the drive. Little Euro step by Grant Nelson will go.
Nelson has to be played as a driver.
Considering, as Jess said, Jay, the number of minutes he gets, he is really a huge contributor on this team.
On the floor. And he reminds you a little bit of Herb Jones in the early years And the last few possessions has been very effective.
Auburn 13 quad one wins. Nobody else has more than 8. Offensive foul, Janai Broome.
Just used that right arm to hook the defender. He really didn't need the back with that right arm. And first of
So Reed at the line for Alabama, knocks down the first. Coming up next, Auburn gets back, keeps him out of transition. Youngblood. Offensive rebound, Amori. Sears a deep one. And they still don't have a made free. Holloway got it.
miscommunication on defense as to who was guarding Kelly and Cardwell. Fortunate.
Nelson with a shot fake. Stevenson a corner three, and Alabama's back within 1.
Leading the league.
And again, they've topped 100 points 7 times this year, 4 of them in SEC play. As the rebound comes down to Denver Jones. Jones flies in and finishes.
Boy, great job by Denver Jones. The long
he had Tuesday against Vandy, 4 threes and 14 points in the first half.
In the country. He's the best on-ball defender on this Auburn roster.
And that's something you need when you're playing Alabama. Nelson driving on Broome. He slipped, and that'll be a travel.
When Jaron Stevenson made a terrific 45-degree back cut, just lost his footing there. Hey, are you a 14? Give Grant your shoes.
I guess you want to recruit walk-ons who have the same shoe size as some of your best players.
Well, now they carry the players' shoes. Make sure they have them.
Diabate initiating the contact with Cardwell, and he's rewarded with a trip to the line. Very good. 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists off the bench in this one.
Looked very much under control.
Draws 2, finds Broome. Cardwell back to Broome, still plenty of time.
Those are some big mitts by Janai Broome that grabbed that ball.
Kelly, beautiful feed. Cardwell the finish. 6-point game, under 5 to go here in the first half at Coleman Coliseum. Number 1 and number 2. Philon the drive. Hangs in the air and hits.
They want straight line drives to draw help so they can kick it and then play out of it.
They're leaving some points on the line, though. 5 for 9 so far. Pull up by Pettiford is good.
Good fake.
Youngblood the kick. And the 3 is short for Darion Reed, but Alabama another offensive rebound and another Auburn foul. Auburn has led wire to wire. Youngblood at the line. So he is now starting. Philon coming off the bench.
Rotate, and that can open up the offensive glass. And in the first half, Alabama's done a better job on the offensive glass than
6 or 7 minutes of the game.
They did. Knock down a couple of threes and then those fadeaway jumpers.
Kinetic pace, but no points in the last couple of trips. Johnson, the jumper over Amori, and Jones with a floater. Another rebound for Broome, and he's fouled.
Darion Reed was right there on this roll replace action. The little floater, Reed right there, as was Amori. Broome was the victor.
A couple of years at Morehead State, did not. 2010, 20 points, 10 rebounds.
Well, he was a great player at Morehead State. He was Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, playing for Preston Stradling.
Including 2 for 14 from 3-point range. Johnson open again and hits another 3. Possession for the tie. Sears steps into it. Missed it wide right, and with 0.3 of a second left. But they can't get anything out of it. And a frustrating first half of the offensive end for the Crimson Tide. They are down 9. The first huge forces at the offensive end.
They're using him as a screener there. Screen for the screener action freed him up, but a great job by Miles Kelly to recover.
Sears can't get all the way to the rim. He kicked it out. Stevenson.
But Kelly took it away from him.
Denver Jones knocks down a 3. So Auburn has 7 made threes. Alabama just 2.
Janai Broom able to play off Cliff Amore basically in drop coverage.
Stevenson, a nice reverse. First bucket of the second half for
this whole game.
The crowd trying to do what it can to help the Tide. That won't help, though. Denver Jones, his second three already here in the second half.
Just their best free throw shooters are missing.
And he makes 2 out of 3. Holloway in. Holloway driving by Baker Mazzara, gets the floater to go. Holloway now with 5.
Off that action, Baker Mazzara switched off with his quickness. He can go side to side, cross over and get by you.
Again, the transfer from Auburn, so you know he wants to have a big game today. Broom, the fadeaway. Boy, if he can't get back to that right shoulder. So with better than 16 minutes to go, Broom already has a double-double. Jones searching for his shot and having himself a day as he banks in a 3.
Come up on that screen. He's going to keep shooting it. He's hit 3 buckets off that action.
Amore.
There's the flex action.
Broom finds Kelly, and Kelly gets the roll. Well, go to Neville Arena in Auburn to end the regular season 3 weeks from today. Mo Diabate, shot clock down to 2. Great job. Got Broom underneath the bucket. Broom looking to the official, and with some difficulty they get it into Diabate. He is annoyed right now when a foul called on Baker Mazzara. That'll be his 3rd. Both teams deep. Good pressure by Philon on Kelly. Now Jones gets the shot off, knocks it down. Denver Jones
is having himself a half, and that was good defense by Diabate.
And Diabate will lay it in.
And it wasn't called. You better be strong taking the ball to the basket in this game. If you look at the official, you're not going to get anything.
Pettiford using the screen from Cardwell, knocks it down. A long 2 for Tahad Pettiford.
These ball screens in the middle of the floor are killing.
Cardwell back to Pettiford. Here comes Kelly. Oh, he was open. Lost it off the face of Nelson. It bounces to Johnson. And a lot of banging underneath and a foul call.
But he winds up getting the call at the end of the play. They're going to have to get some defensive stops. And it may entail having to adjust how they're guarding ball screens with their big guys.
Because of how many different options, how many different plays Bruce Pearl has in his system. Broom wide open.
That's clearly a shot they don't mind him taking. Good pass.
And the reverse slam for Amore. And that's got the crowd fired.
Sides of the floor in order to get that. You know, he can kind of hide a little bit, but he's Auburn's best shooter from the perimeter.
Huge differences between the Tide's offensive numbers on the season. Picked up his dribble, finds Philon. Off balance, it'll go. And they've got it down to single digits.
And here's the run stopper, Janai Broom.
The fadeaway, short. Philon being chased down by Kelly. That's going to go.
Little horn set right now for Alabama. 2 up top, 2 in the corners wide.
Sears. Yes!
That are great free throw shooters, and Chad Baker Mazzara 90% from the line.
Come out that Trent Noah and Travis Perry did for Kentucky on Tuesday night.
They knocked down some timely threes.
Sears is open and hits again. His second 3, and have trailed by as many as 14. Broom. And he looks shaken up. Maybe it's the ankle again, grimacing and not moving well, getting back on D. But he comes up with a block. The ball is loose, and Nelson's. Sears again. And the rebound to Kelly.
Boy, Kelly is such a good guard rebounder.
A transition 3. It's a freshman on the road in this kind of environment. but he's had some of his biggest games in some of their biggest ones. Youngblood with a three.
Game on, and the lid is off for Alabama. After all these misses, they're starting to knock down threes.
Wow. Baker Mazzara with a three. Their best player. 6 minutes to go. Baker Mazzara, soft off the glass. He has made some big plays here today. Mazzara. At the other end, Johnson the defense. Diabate the miss. Numbers for Auburn. Johnson, tough catch, and the finish. They've still got a lot of difference makers, and Baker Mazzara is wincing in pain on the bench. Ball screen, Cardwell. Pettiford drives, and another beautifully placed shot off the glass, this time by Tahat Pettiford. And knocks down the front end. Made them both. Sets the screen for Pettiford. Flies into the paint and scores again.
Boy, if you're not going to have anybody up at the...
Nelson driving, and that's a goaltending call. Count the basket. Pettiford driving again with the right hand. Tipped around, and Broom's got it.
How did he come away with that ball? He was surrounded by red shirts. And even on one leg,
half dozen with Miles Kelly at the line.
And give credit to the bench of Auburn with the production. Bruce Pearl, I'm sure, said to his team, if we have single-digit turnovers and hold Auburn to single-digit offensive rebounds.
As you can see, high 80s. All four perimeter players. Hands, you got to feel pretty comfortable if you're Bruce Pearl.
Yeah, that is a comforting thing down the stretch.
Way to go, Jay. Bylon made them both. Jones will bring it over.
A good balance by Chaney Johnson. Looked like he was going to fall backwards for a second there.
Open is Broom. Got it to go. What a great pass from Chaney Johnson. Great cut. Stevenson lays it in. Sears the assist.
Yeah, from the foul line. And this is really an opportunity to cut into this lead and put some real game pressure on Auburn down the stretch.
But they still got five very talented guys on the floor. 1 of 2 for Youngblood. So a 6-point game, and it's Alabama tonight. Pettiford makes the first.
They made a play now. But to come away in that sequence after the flagrant foul on Baker Mazzara with just...
Banging with Diabate. Broom wins, and it's a double-digit lead.
Bringing double coverage because Broom is an excellent passer, especially out of double teams. But he's able to get to that right shoulder into the middle of the lane. He just bullied Mohamed Diabate, who's to get that big bucket and move it to 10 points.
9.
And really it came down to Alabama's inability to knock down perimeter shots. You've got multiple 80, 85 plus, 90 plus free throw shooters.
2 1 versus 2 games for 2 different teams.
One game he was number 2, and this one number 1.
Yeah. And a reminder, and we don't know what the rankings will be, but Nelson fouls Broom, and Alabama is going to try to extend this your path in the NCAA tournament. And the same could happen in the SEC tournament. But the point is, I mean, just an incredible number of teams that can go a long, long way in the NCAA tournament.
Get it down as quickly as you can and get the quickest score that you can.
3 for 9 from the line.
You got to go. Get to the rim.
Holloway does. That's a goaltend. Count the basket, and it's a 5-point game.
They've hit the backboard.
Definite goaltend.
Likely to be a make. No threes, no fouls.
7-point game. Holloway, air ball. Johnson has it, immediately gives it to Kelly, and a foul is called.
These are two powerful offensive teams.
Yeah, by many measures, first and second in not only reached double figures, 6 players with 13 or more points in this game. No more fouls, and number 1 Auburn comes into Coleman Coliseum, and they walk out of here with a big win.